So in the process of developing the Tycho software, I wanted to have some way in which to evaluate and compare the measurements that it produces to that of some other astrometry program. And so this is Astrometrica. This is a fairly popular and widely used astrometry program. And basically what I'm doing here is I've got a sort of a script running that takes in a set of coordinates as a file. These coordinates are generated from a set of catalog stars. So for each catalog star, the right ascension and declination are converted into XY position. And so this coordinate file is built up and then read in from the script, which in turn adjusts the coordinates based upon window position and so forth to then invoke the set cursor position. So as you can see, it's essentially clicking on each eligible catalog star in the program, and for each star it is then gathering centroid information, right ascension, declination, magnitude, and so forth. All this information is being populated into a log file, which then in part of stage 2 is read in by another module that parses that file, collects the information, and then merges it with the measurements generated by Tycho on those same stars. And so the result of all this is that you can then get a good way to compare how each program measures the same set of stars from the same image. Okay, so a total of 318 samples were collected, each sample corresponding to a catalog star. So both programs use the same star catalog, they use the same image data, and so forth. So as you can see, this column represents the maximum residual of the measurement as it was generated by Astrometrica, and this column represents the maximum residual of the measurement as it was taken from the Tycho software. So two different histograms are generated here, one for each column. So here you can see the residuals of the measurements of Astrometrica and then the residuals of the measurements of the Tycho software. So they are actually quite comparable, and in this particular case, if we wanted to, we could look at the averages. So 0.34 arc seconds for Astrometrica and then 0.297 for Tycho. So very, very similar, and of course, as with any sampling process, there's going to be some plus or minus and so forth, but a histogram at least helps to show a general population, if you will, a sampling of that population and its distribution, if you will. And so it's one way to look at the data, and certainly if anything else, it helps to validate that Tycho is at least performing as well as another well-used astrometry program. And that's just kind of the whole point here, is to reassure that indeed you can get very good measurements through the Tycho software. So not only is the measurement of the position of the star of importance, but also a lot of folks want to have good measurements on the brightness, in other words, the magnitude of the star. And so to that end, we also have that information. This is represented as the delta magnitude, where the true magnitude is taken from the star catalog, and then the delta magnitude is computed as the difference between that and what the program computed. So this column is the delta magnitude of the measurement for Astrometrica, and then this column is the delta magnitude of the measurement as it was taken from Tycho. So again, two different histograms are generated, one for each column. So as you can see, again, very similar results from both programs, and so this is again, it helps to reaffirm that you can get quality measurements through either program. So in this case, the average for Astrometrica was 0.29, and for Tycho is 0.27. So again, very, very good results on both, and again, helps to validate that you can get good measurement not just on the position of the star, but also on its magnitude as well.